Dragalicious. My name is Lydia.
Yep, KG.
And today we're gonna be...
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Intellivision Amico. Again. It feels like that's all we record lately, but that's just cause. Why not? Why not just meme on the shit show that is Intellivision Amico? Yeah, dab on the Amico, right? Cool. Yeah. Anyways, what was I trying to say? Yeah, we're gonna take a look at this Smash JT video. Smash JT posted like a month or a bit over a month ago that he was speaking with Phil Adam. You know, Smash is very upset about the fact
Who is Phil Adam?
Phil Adam is it's Phil Adam, right? I think it's Phil Adam. Yeah, his name, it's right there. What am I talking about? Phil Adam is the current CEO of Intellivision after the departure of Tommy Tallarico, who was recently spotted
At a restaurant?
At a restaurant with some other losers from G4, like Tech TV or whatever. I think it was Cliff Blazinski's birthday or something. I don't know. It's probably...
Came out of his cave.
He came out of his cave. It was on the East Coast as well, right? So not in California where he lives. So, you know, I don't know. Take whatever you want from there. Maybe he's back living with his family members.
Daddy. Oh, God. He lost everything. Even his hot wife and his hot car.
Yeah.
Who knows? We really don't.
I don't really know. There's no context for that, but yes, he was spotted somewhere on the East Coast at a restaurant.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
You know, hiding from responsibility, I guess, right? And maybe asking other people to pay for his tab. I don't know. Anyways, let's jump into this video. Recently, okay, no, not that recently. Smash reached out to Phil because he's pretty cheesed about the fact that he invested $10K and that Intellivision's basically gone radio silent on everything, right?
They're in a period of, what was it called?
I don't know.
A period of silence.
Yeah, silent period.
Yeah.
While they look for investors. That was in February. It's now November, and they still have no investors, right? And they shut down their office, and they laid off or fired most of their staff, and the rest quit. There's basically no one left. I don't even know if John Alvarado's still there. He might be, but he might be like the lone soldier kind of holding this whole thing up. I don't really know. I think there is a possibility, guys, that the company is just Phil Adam in his garage, like, or in his office, like doing it in his spare time. You gotta remember, this is like a rich dude, right? So, well, you know what? Let's just watch the video and then we'll react as
Just gonna say it. I'm disappointed that there's a shirt, but okay.
What? He's wearing the shirt. He's also got all the merch here.
Yeah. Evil Knievel.
He's got the games that never came out and probably never will, and the cozy for the controller. Yeah. Yeah. You can put your cell phone in there, I guess. But yeah, Smash was also a huge shill for the Amico for a long time. Obviously, he saw the light or whatever. And I mean, I think most people at this point have come to the realization that it's just not happening, right? But let's just jump into the video. We'll let him give you some context. But basically, yes, he reached out to Phil because it's like, what the F is going on? Phil said, give me a month. Things are in the works. A month has passed. No news from Phil, so now Smash has reached out to Phil a second time, and he got some information out.
Let's play it.
Let's play it.
Not say anything about them and trust him. Give him a few weeks.
Also, we're doing it at
2
times speed, just to, like, I don't know. Should we do it 2 times speed? You think so?
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
I believe were his words, and I held my word on that. I said, sure, I'll give you a few weeks. And now we fast forward 4 weeks later. Tony Deep Getaway hit me up on Twitter wanting to follow up, so thanks, Tony, for making me follow up on it.
Tony always is, you know, sniffing around.
A lot of things going on in my life, so even though I was very excited about the Intellivision Amico initially, everything that's transpired up until this point, I was just kind of like, you know, whatever. It's clearly something that's going to be...
let's fast forward a bit.
Poor guy's got gray hair now.
I'm just saying, for me personally, I always try to be a good person, and that can get me in trouble.
You know what?
Well, sometimes.
Everyone interpret that how you want. Him always being a good person or not. He really did gaslight a lot of people at the start of the whole Amico thing.
Certainly did.
We'll just not get into that because that's a whole other subject itself.
I reached out to Phil and was like, look, I don't want to be a dick. I just want to, you know, tell people what we talked about. And if you have anything you can give me, I'd appreciate it because I really don't want to make a video just being like, ha, you suck. Everyone's right about you, which I was kind of preparing to do. And again, didn't feel good about doing it, but I promised you guys that I'd give you an update. So I reached out and sent that text to Phil.
Okay.
And about I'd say 10 minutes went by, 15 minutes. He called me, and we talked for about 15 minutes, which kind of surprised me. I didn't.
Probably from his house. You got to remember, Intellivision doesn't have an office anymore, right? They don't have any offices, so it's like, where is the work being done? I don't even know, right?
Nobody expect that. I thought he was just going to give me some fluff text response and whatever, or call me and say, blah blah blah, I gotta go. But no, it was a pretty in-depth call. I took quite a bit of notes here.
Wow.
And there was nothing regarding the Intellivision Amico in particular where he said I can't say these things. And I am not under any kind of NDA, so I don't have to worry about any of that. And there's some information he gave me here, which, again, believe it or don't, I don't really care. I just want to give you guys the info from the CEO that he has not come public.
You know, I appreciate that he's giving us the info.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit insane that
it's like a game of telephone tag, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's basically telephone tag where he's got to text the CEO because he has a $10,000 like investment, so he has the CEO on his cell. Yeah, right. So he could text the CEO to get the press release. Yo, guys, we need a press release. Yo, send it down to the shows or whatever, right? In this case, the Smash is not a show anymore, but still. I'm sure he'd like to see the console release. Yikes. At least he should get his Intellivision Amico, you know? One of those 30 consoles being made or whatever.
Public with regarding the Intellivision Amico. Now, there are some things in this that is pretty insightful to show exactly where they're at right now. Regarding the consoles that have been created.
Yeah.
So far, Phil's word, again, disclaimer, believe this if you want to. This is what Phil told me.
Okay.
There are 25 consoles and 50 controllers in
25 consoles, 50
final
controllers.
Production. The hardware is finalized.
Yes, the hardware is finalized. It's been finalized for an entire year.
Yeah.
Right? And they were talking about they were going into production last November.
They're on the launch pad.
that was like almost a year and a half ago when they said that. Yeah,
okay.
Right? Yeah.
The consoles are not all completed, being put together, but will.
Okay, so there's 25 and 50, but they're not put together. So it's like in pieces, right?
Shoe boxes.
Yeah, they have a bunch of shoe boxes of all the components that need to be soldered on onto like these boards or whatever.
Be done in a week or two. His rationale for that was he doesn't have the manpower to create them, and they are not at.
Wait, what?
It should be done in a week or two. He doesn't have the manpower to complete it.
Will be done in a week or two. His rationale for that.
So they have the parts to make 25 consoles and 50 controllers, but they're not done yet. He doesn't have the manpower because they have no employees. I don't think, guys, let's be real. Do you think they actually have John Alvarado? Let us know in the comments. Do you think they still even have Johnny Boy, the most loyal employee there is? I don't think they do. I don't think Intellivision exists anymore. I think it exists as an email address. That's it. It exists as an email address or text for so that they can carry on this charade that they attempted to release a console so that they don't get sued.
Yeah.
Right? Because then they can, say, well, we tried, we just couldn't, right? I don't think it exists anymore. I don't think
if they okay, I'm just giving them the benefit out here. If they really wanted to, why not invite the shills for a pizza party? Show them, be like, okay, this screw goes here. We can just get it out in a few hours, guys.
There was even a dude who said he would work for free to manufacture the console.
Yeah.
They didn't go for that.
See, that's weird. If you were super desperate, if this was grassroots, if you were really wanting to try it and accomplish it, you could do it.
You could, yeah.
But if it's all smoke and mirrors,
then you don't want those people's help because they're gonna see through the smoke.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
he doesn't have the manpower to create them, and they are not at a manufacturing plant. I don't know. It was confusing.
They're not at a manufacturing plant. Like exactly what we said.
Yeah.
I was explaining it, and maybe I misunderstood him, but it sounded like those 50 controllers and 25 consoles were being produced in manufacturing, but currently not. So I don't know if they're being put together by hand or what's going on with them.
Yes, they're absolutely being put together by hand.
He's in a rush
and had to go at any.
In between meetings.
Yes, there's lots of meetings happening. Lots of meetings happening over at Intellivision HQ. Oh wait, his house. Yeah. I'm my next meeting is
lunch meeting.
Lunch meeting, and then 2 o'clock. I don't know.
I got a shit meeting.
Gotta take a dump. That's on my schedule. I have a meeting with the toilet, and then I have a meeting with the television.
With my wife.
Yeah, and then I have a meeting with my wife. She's gonna yell at me.
Intimate team building exercise. Life.
Intimate team building exercise. Yes.
I mean, like, come on,
guys. I'm between meetings. You know.
Like, I'm sorry. That's like the most BS excuse ever. Like, why would you call him then? Like,
no.
You just want to get him off of your back.
It's just a preloaded excuse that he probably came up with so he could get out of the call quickly, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
If Smash asked any questions that were like difficult, that you could just be, I gotta go.
I'm getting.
Tommy's firing up another pizza.
Right? Yeah, getting a call from my grilled cheese. I'll be right back. Like, get the hell out of here.
I'm like, hey, Phil, I got a phone. Anytime you got a free few minutes,
that was very
without feeling like you're gonna hang up any second. But hey, such is life as a CEO. He said to me,
life of a CEO at a dead company, aka
so busy.
his house, right?
Within a couple of weeks, you have something more concrete, which is again the same as what he said 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Within a couple of weeks, we'll have something more concrete, which is what he said, guys, 9 months ago. Never mind 4 weeks ago. Okay, let's keep going.
Groundbreaking with that. He spent a little bit of time focusing on his frustrations with how me, in particular, he singled out, and then he said, and the general public have given him such a hard time regarding the chameleon and his work there, and then he so much hate mail. It's sad. He has time wanting to trust me.
He has a hard time, guys. He has a.
Excuse me.
Phil Adam has a hard time trusting Smash or trusting the general public. What? What does that say about you as a person if, like, you're saying that you can't trust
an investor?
Yeah.
What? Like, that is the person you're trusting because they're wanting... They invested because they believe in you.
$10,000.
They believed in your idea. So if you're going to trust anybody, it's the guys who actually ponied up money and not the YouTubers, us, whatever, who are like...
No. Yet, they didn't give a demo unit to this guy. They gave it to 2 shills that didn't invest. One invested like $1,000. The other didn't invest anything, but, you know, they dedicated their lives, their souls. That trust, the trust that, can't be broken like I don't know, like they're in the mafia together, right? You can't, don't break that trust or you're out, right? And
I'm gonna say, this is like toxic Tommy stuff, probably bleeding into his mindset here, because like in an actual office, like this shit wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? It would be like, okay, we got shareholders, we got a product, we need to make the product, let's go. Okay, we missed our deadline. We can't miss it again. Like, it's just I don't know, any office...
It has nothing to do with trust. If anything, the public trust of the company
is down the toilet.
It's 6 feet under, really.
And the only way to revive it is for you to be...
Launch the console.
For you to be open and upfront about stuff. Not being secretive,
we need to go to silent time.
Silent modes. Like, that makes us trust you even less, because you're like, okay, hold on, you have my money... You're not answering my calls. There's no console. There's no games. What the hell's happening?
You're sending a single console out to some dude to demo, and you
don't trust me. I don't trust you.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. You're the rich man who took everyone's money.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna say, I don't trust you people. It's like, what kind of like tomfoolery is this? Now he's also saying that this guy is upset because people were giving him shit about the Coleco Chameleon, the previous console scam that never released. The one that was the precursor to the Amico, that everyone compared the Amico to. Everyone compared the Amico to the Coleco Chameleon, and now it really has repeated the same thing that the Chameleon did, right? And never releasing. If anything, the Amico is worse because it took a ton of investor money.
Yes.
Whereas the Chameleon didn't, right? It was outed as a scam much earlier in the development, if you want to call it that. Let's continue, okay?
He said he was not on the board of directors at Coleco, and he kept talking. I had a lot I wanted to say to him, so I guess I'll use this video as my response, because I know you're going to watch this still. I don't believe I ever said, maybe I did say you were on the board of directors, but regardless of the actual
board of directors, it's like, okay, so I just want to say this before we get any further. I bet you it's going to be one of those like semantic things where it's like, technically, there was no board of directors. I was still, like, on the head honcho, but there was no board of directors. So you said I was on the board of directors? I wasn't on the board. You know what I'm talking about? The Tommy logic,
like
where it's
hairs,
like, trying to like, yeah, exactly.
You were listed on the Our Team page.
There he is, the fourth dude.
Underneath the CEO.
Here, this is him, Phil Adam.
Phil Adam, yep.
Phil Adam, VP Business Development.
Okay.
That sounds like someone who's, pretty
high up there.
VP, Vice President. Okay, but he wasn't on the board of directors. This is exactly what I just said.
Mike Kennedy. And it says you were the VP of Business Development. So, I mean, we got split hairs here. You had a very large...
Well, he just said exactly.
I don't want to revisit this conversation, this topic again. I feel like I covered it pretty fully the first time I talked about it. But if you feel like you should not have been credited with that, you probably should have taken up issue with Mike Kennedy before everything fell apart. Because afterwards, when you have a screenshot of you, 3 people underneath, well, actually, just 2 people in between, you and Mike Kennedy on the About Us.
Mike Kennedy was the CEO, right?
The VP
the one who led the scam.
He said it bugged me he did nothing wrong with Coleco. I'm not saying...
It bugs me that...
He said he did nothing wrong with Coleco.
He did nothing wrong with Coleco. You were the VP of Business
Development.
Yeah.
It's
you were involved in the scam.
Yeah.
You might say that you weren't the dude who put the fake motherboard in the console, because this is what they did, right?
Yeah.
They took like a capture card or something, and they put it in a shell, right? And they were like, oh yeah, this is it, right? And then someone managed to like see the board and post it online, and they were able to identify that it was actually a capture card board from like some old unit that was ages ago. It was just like a scam, right? Because they didn't really know how to develop a console.
Right.
But at that point, they hadn't like raised a ton of funds or anything, so at least it wasn't like it was bad.
But it wasn't like a Ponzi scheme.
But it wasn't. They weren't at the point of like they took the money and have spent the money and not produced anything.
Right. Of course.
I mean, yeah.
He said he did nothing wrong with Coleco. I'm not saying you did, nor did I ever say you did something wrong with Coleco. All I said, and you can go back and watch my video.
You're associated
really
with Coleco.
Bad look.
Yeah, it is.
The Our Team section, maybe I said on the board, sorry, on the Our Team section as VP of Business Development at Coleco.
Yep.
And say you had nothing to do with it, and it was you.
Yep.
But anyways.
What a psycho. But guys, this is like narcissistic behavior, right? Where I did nothing wrong. It's like, dude, you were involved with the scam.
Yeah.
You're involved with the scam, and now you're on board with this other scam.
Yeah.
The Intellivision Amico is the new scam, and you're on this scam too. Not to mention where he came, where Phil Adam came from before Coleco. I forget the company name, but it was I believe it was the company. Was it Activision? Might have been Activision. I'm not exactly sure. But the company he was in, he was put in charge of that company during their, like, when they were selling off all their assets, right? So he wasn't in charge when they were, like, fruitful and successful. He was in charge at the end when it was, like, collapsed.
Oh, God.
And here he is again doing the same thing, kind of like selling off, fire sale with Amico, right? There's a little bit of a precedent here.
Yeah.
Coming from there to another game company that is faltering, and it looks really odd when the front man for it, Tommy Tallarico, just disappears and replaces them with you.
He disappeared, but he showed up for the pizza party.
Yeah.
And before that, the backgammon tournament.
Oh my God. I love it. I love
Tommy's trying to get the money.
It's like, where's Waldo with Tommy Tallarico here? It's like, I saw him here. I saw him at the grocery store.
Who has ties to an organization that is well known for being one of the biggest frauds in retro gaming history? I don't know. I think it's fair to make that connection.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Prove us wrong.
I agree.
Prove otherwise, that does not show who you actually are. And I'll be honest, it kind of bugged me that he was telling me that what I talked about with that bugged him so much. Like, it's the reality. Deal with it, live with it, and move past it. Be better than it. If it bugs you that much, like, do something about it. Don't just say, it hurts my feelings that you can make that connection because I'm not like that. Anyways,
You're exactly like that.
Phil gets paid in shares, not paychecks. So he is doing this out of passion.
Phil gets paid in shares, he doesn't get a paycheck. Exactly what I said, guys. Intellivision does not exist as a company, okay? There's no employees, so he can't collect a paycheck.
On paper, it exists, but that's pretty much it.
It only exists on like government documents as like a string of numbers. It's like Intellivision, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. You know, a business ID. Right? It doesn't exist as anything more than that. And that's why the units that they have no manpower because there's literally no one. There's probably I know that their main hardware guy left, right? And so that's why there's no hardware revisions because the hardware can't be revised. They have nobody. They have John Alvarado. Actually, we don't even know if they have John anymore. But if they do, he is not a hardware developer. He's a software developer.
Totally
Anyways, let's
different.
continue.
Where have you heard that one before? But okay. Quote unquote, I am doing licensing deals. Quote unquote. I want the console to come out. I really do.
Okay, so let's take 1 second to just say, Amico, Intellivision has no licenses, no games to license out.
Hey, Cloudy Mountain.
Cloudy Mountain might be it, but that might be the only one, right?
Yeah.
Or Night Stalker and Cloudy Mountain. But in the era of like Diablo 2 and Undecember and other isometric or top-down, like point-and-click fighting games, or I don't know what you would call it, Diablo-style games.
Dungeon crawlers?
Dungeon crawlers. Like, they're everywhere, right? Like, Cloudy Mountain is no longer unique, right? There's nothing... It was very special for its time because it was a unique concept. Now it's nothing. It's nothing at all.
I can't put out a console that sells 7 to 10,000.
I can't... Okay, hey, wait. This might be important.
I can't put out a console that sells 7 to 10,000 units and fails. He said he didn't want to do that, so he's making every effort to go bigger than that.
He can't put out a console that sells 10,000 units and fails. So he's going to put out a console that has 25 final units, and that's it.
Yeah, I think some people they get stuck in what's called perfectionism. But it's fine. Okay, let me finish my point. Okay, so like sometimes people are just like, I want this to be perfect, so I'd rather do nothing than something. But in this case, I'd rather see something than nothing. You know?
No, I think it's a case of they have no money.
Yeah.
They have no money, so they can't make these. First of all, they have no staff, so they can't pay anyone to assemble these, right? And how are they going to even make 10,000 units, right? They can't.
I think a pizza party would be perfect. Pizza party and all the shills.
Yeah, they can't even afford the components.
The pepperoni.
They can't afford the components of the pizza.
Sorry.
God, they. We're talking about, like when you're trying to do like a small time business where you're looking on AliExpress and Amazon and you're like, okay, this thing sells on AliExpress for $5. If I invest $1,000 and list them for $50 each on Amazon, a lot of people do this. It's called
ROI.
That's
drop shipping.
Drop shipping or whatever. No, it's not drop shipping. That's a different thing.
Okay.
But am I going to make a profit? That's literally how Phil is evaluating this, right? He's talking, if I spend the money to get 10,000, that's not good enough. I'm not going to get a return on investment. So I'm not going to spend any money.
Yeah.
So like all those guys, this is like the like the nail in the coffin. Him saying that he's not going to build them unless there is a huge purchase order, I guess is the word, right? Unless there's a huge purchase order of these consoles, they're just not going to build them at all.
What about the pre-orders?
What about the 2,600 guys that put their money down? I guess they're getting nothing because unless they're getting like more than 10,000, 10,000's a failure. So they're probably talking like 100,000 units. They're like, okay, at 100,000 units, we're getting some ROI, right?
Yeah.
Then you got to think about, okay, well, who's going to be running the servers for the back end stuff?
Yeah.
Right? If you have no team, you have no office, everything is in, the cloud or remote work or whatever. It's probably just him and John Alvarado phone calling each other once a week to talk about how things suck.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, these are never getting manufactured, guys. And those shills are just misleading people. The remaining shills, like there's Mike Mullis, DJC, and some other dude, right? But those three are just misleading people. But there's really no one left to fool. I think anyone who is dumb enough to invest their money has already done so, and this thing is tanked.
I would almost argue is the same mistake that Tommy made, trying to go too big with this thing. Like, start off small. It's okay. Sell those.
That's what I
and if
said.
it's actually good and it proves its purpose in the market and people want it, it will sell a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of weird.
You get more orders. You get more orders, and you place more orders.
Of course.
Right? Like, yeah.
Regular
why would you
business.
order 100,000 units?
Yeah, and not
You're not going to sell them.
Right? Yeah.
It's only going to sell 10,000 units. He wants to make sure it does better than that, so it doesn't fail. But anyways, splitting hairs a little bit on that. He said they have picked up the chipsets. They are selected. These units were built.
So they've picked up the chips. They are selected. These units were...
And they are... Not all of them. But they are not dev units, which is another thing that was frustrating.
Not dev.
Like,
they're final units that were built by hand.
A couple of the small YouTube channels out there were dev units, and they're not. He confirms that they are not dev units.
Okay. So
They are the official,
something,
finalized...
No, but what he's saying is, like, they have parts bins.
Yeah.
Right? To build a console.
Yeah.
But they don't have finished consoles.
Right.
Console with the chipsets, the final production, the hardware and everything, that is the final thing. Which is a big deal. Like, huge.
Because they can't afford to, like, redo the console. They can't afford it. They don't have any money.
If it is to be believed. I know I have to put that asterisk after everything I say with this because who the hell knows at this point. But this is the information he gave me. My question would be, if this is where they're at, what their hesitation is with just putting out a press release, saying these things publicly. Like, why is it going to be through some back alley YouTuber like me? That's a channel.
Yeah.
Why go through me? By the way, subscribe if you haven't already. The manufacturing that being made and in production for those 50 controllers and 25 consoles, where he didn't specify how many were already done. He said some of them were, but he didn't have the manpower to do the rest of them, and they are being put into production. Again, very confusing about that, the way he was wording it. He said two different things, and I don't know what he was referring to with them, and it was very hard to get a word in edgewise with him because he just kept talking. And I was just down, and I kept trying to get stuff in, and he just kept... Anyways.
Sounds very Tommy. This guy just sounds like
Tommy 2.0.
And the general public coming after him. He said, I don't need this. He's doing this, again, out of...
Wait, what?
That he's had with people in the general public coming after him. He said, I don't need this.
His frustration with the general public.
Hans is gone.
I'm doing this out of passion. Yeah, okay. You're doing this out of not getting sued.
Phil said he is the GM of Europe, taking Hans' place. Putting everything I've done...
Hans is gone too?
Hans has been gone for a while.
Poor Hans. Okay.
Into bringing this to life, quote unquote. One thing he did say about the chip shortage, which I did find a little bit interesting, was the chip shortage is ending. Especially the chips that we're looking to get. He said that many companies were over-ordering and now canceling and cutting back, which may...
I heard this was completely untrue.
Really?
Yeah. I heard through the grapevine that chip shortages have not stopped, and there are still back orders all the way to like late 2023, 2024, stuff like that.
Wow.
And so you got to remember, these guys lie constantly.
Yeah.
Right? Not Smash, but the guy he's talking to.
Yeah.
Actually end up giving them pricing power on these consoles in the future. But again, that's one of those. Oh, okay, what are you doing for me now, though?
Yes.
I said, what can I tell my audience when to expect another update? And he said, I'd rather give a date at the end of the month, but I'm not going to make any promises.
Okay, so Phil doesn't want to give an update till the end of the month. We're near the start of this month.
I guess.
Right? Like, today's what, the 10th?
Yeah, I think so.
So he needs another 20 days to maybe give an update. That update being, we'll talk about it in the new year. Yeah, right?
He did say he has some personal stuff going on. He's not going to...
He has some personal stuff, of course. Every single, CEO has, we all have personal stuff going on, guys. Every day I have personal stuff. We all have personal stuff. Parents are sick, or this is happening, or... everyone watching this video probably has personal stuff going on right now.
Right.
Should not be impacting the production of the console. If you can't do your tasks, hire someone to do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's literally your task as the CEO.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that they're charading as a company when they don't exist. Right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
Can't you just get like some contract workers in? Like if you don't want
They don't have any money though.
I know, but just like do something. Like I don't know.
He's looking at it right now as, do I invest for the return of 10,000 consoles? Which means that he's taking everything they've put into it and seeing that even if he was to take his personal money and invest in ordering 10,000 units, they would get nothing out of it.
Yeah, this is a failed project for sure, but I'd like to see it through to the end, even if it's a failure, But I guess
that's not how they're not looking. That's not how
business
they
people
look
don't do that.
That's not what they do. They're not like, yo, let's
like integrity,
soldier on. They're just like, business is business.
File bankruptcy, bye.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, but they let on the investors, so they don't want to get sued, right? So they have to put on a charade that they attempted as long as possible. Ugh. If they can pay off all their debts, they could go on for 4 or 5 years till people just forget that they exist.
Yikes.
Told me not to talk about the actual specifics of it, but his preference is to have all this info and an update to everybody before Thanksgiving 2022. I need to specify the year because this is a television.
Yep.
So that was basically the long and short of everything that he told me. And the biggest thing that I got out of it was that they have the chipset selected and the unit to finalize. That's a big deal if it is to be believed. Again, if it is, which is something that there's nothing tangible besides a couple of units that are not being opened up, and the people who have them, small YouTubers, are under NDAs who can't take pictures of the insides of them to give it to anybody.
Really?
So again, this is
You knew that. They're under NDAs.
Well, I didn't know they weren't allowed to take pictures of it.
Regarding why would he
No, they're allowed to take pictures. They're not allowed to open them.
He's running. He's like, no, I really want this to go out. I'm doing everything I can to do that, to make that happen, to make sure that I don't make promises that potentially people previously in his position were making to everybody that he feels like is falling on him now, and that's not fair to him. Which I would argue Phil himself also started making some big promises that never came true.
He's upset that the promises of Tommy are falling on him.
Oh, yeah.
But that you took the position of CEO.
Yeah.
And then you went in silent mode rather than being like, okay, guys, like, okay, if there was any legitimacy to anything, you would have been like, guys, Tommy was an idiot. He had no idea. He had no CEO experience. Shouldn't have been in that position. Completely mismanaged the company. I'm going to tell you straight, this is where things are. This is where things are going. Everything Tommy promised is moot, and that this is the new trajectory for the project. And instead, he's like, we're going into quiet mode. It's sleepy time, everybody.
It's just unfortunate because, like, if we go to an office and we make a big oopsie, we get punished. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like as the plebs, I guess, or is that, I don't know if that's what they call, like the
peons?
The peons, that's what I mean, yeah. So, like, it's kind of like, oh, poor CEO. Oh, it's like,
poor CEO's fees are hurt. Now he's going to go home to his Porsche, his, mansion.
It's like,
and
kind of makes you sick. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, all the points that he's making are correct. Like you were affiliated with a failed console. Again, this is another potentially failed console. People are asking questions. People are getting upset. Like, yeah.
We don't have to watch the rest of the video because it's just him surmising the points that he highlighted to us. But essentially, Phil has his fifis hurt, and his fifis have been hurting since, I guess, February when he took, or maybe like last October, he took control of the company and has steered it nowhere except for removing most of the employees, getting rid of the office space. The entire company is basically gone at this point, guys. The project only exists in your mind, right? And on some hard drive somewhere, right? They have like a couple of buckets full of chipsets, but they can't even get a guy to come over and solder them onto the board. They don't have the money. Like I don't understand
how the FBI is not investigating this as like a potential Ponzi scheme, because this is in the millions.
Yeah. It sounds exactly like a Ponzi scheme,
it's like,
right?
Yeah, it's like Lou Pearlman all over again, right? Like, oh, invest in this. Oh no, I actually didn't have anything, right? Like that's illegal.
Let's look it up right now. Ponzi. How do you spell it? Ponzi?
Yeah, that's the second one. Yeah. A form of fraud in which belief in the success of a non-existent enterprise is fostered by the payment of quick returns for first investors from money invested by later investors.
Classic Ponzi scheme built on treachery and lies.
Which, I mean, kind of...
Top level schemer to the second level. These are the YouTubers here.
Oh, investors, third level and fourth level.
Right? Trying to get people to invest to come up to the guy at the top, right? I mean, Ponzi scheme red flags, high returns with no or little risk, high returns constantly, issues with paperwork, unregistered sellers, complex and secretive strategies, unregistered investment,
It's all kind of
there. Not so much this, right? That's like a pyramid scheme. I guess a Ponzi scheme and a pyramid scheme are the same thing. I don't know all the definition stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of pyramid schemes out there, right?
Yeah, the MLMs and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
like
they're everywhere, especially in the States. The States has really got a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand how they're not under investigation, except for the investors just are idiots, right? All the people who they raised like 13 million. It was originally 17 million, but got reeled back to like 13 million on Fig, right? So they raised a lot of money.
Yeah.
Whether that money even was there to begin with, guys, is what I would question, right? Like whether that 13 million was like just through a few of their buddies, and they're just looking at it as a lost investment, and that's why nobody, like, who the heck actually invested in this console and thought it was going to succeed and is now not upset? I think
how are you not upset? Like money is huge.
Millions of dollars was lost, mismanaged, absolute clusterfuck, right? How are these people not upset except they don't exist?
And how are people not being held accountable?
Right. Just, I don't understand how they aren't being held accountable for anything.
Yeah.
Except for they got everything through loans, and it's assigned to an what is it? Limited liability company? LLC. You know, and that there never really was 13 million investment, right? That was like money that they put in themselves, or that a couple of buddies put in.
It was a line of credit.
You know, yeah, they said all sorts of crazy shit. Like they had $150 million in loans ready for manufacturing and all sorts of crazy shit.
And he's like, I don't need to know that. Like why are you telling me this? Why are you getting
Because
loans?
all those videos were to try to attract investors that they never got. Because at that point, they already had 13 million. So why did they need to get more investors? Except for that money never really existed in the first place, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure if you go and you look at like the orders numbers on the number of consoles that were ordered, there was a day where they got 2,600, you know, of the 2,600 they sold of like the wood grain consoles. And then on Fig, like the next day, it just jumped up 2,600 consoles, the number that was like pre-ordered, right? And it's like, okay, but those weren't pre-ordered through Fig. They were pre-ordered through your website, but you're rolling them into the Fig number. It's like, is that like, how real was that 13 million? That's really where I'm at, right? Is it's like, you would think there are investors that put in like a couple mil, that they'd be like, what the F is going on? Where's my money? Yeah. What is this silent treatment? What the F is going on? Instead, the only people who are upset are like, you know, the mom and pops who invested $1 or $2 grand and are posting angry comments on Fig, and no one's responding, right? So it's like, yeah, those people got screwed because they got told by like Tommy speaking with like that Florida investment dude who like convinces people on, you know, 10x returns and that type stuff. I forget his name, but you know, those people were sent to the websites that were sent to Fig and put in $1 grand hoping to get 10 grand out, right? But the people who put in $1 million that really made the big difference, where are these people? They should be upset. They should be upset. Instead, they just nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. You know, if they were upset, there would be like, you know, articles and like Kotaku and other big video game industry sites talking about what's happened. Instead, there's nothing. You know, like nowhere ever would like Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft be able to be like, yo, we're going on a 9-month silent treatment. It's sleepy time, guys, and it's gonna be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really the whole thing is very bizarre. I think that's pretty much all there. What else?
Their last hope is just, guys, maybe just get on Shark Tank and see if you can get business advice and some money.
Yeah, get on Shark Tank. That's a good idea. That might be your best piece of advice.
All right, perfect. Okay, guys, let us know in the comments below. What is your opinion on this news video? Do you think it's the truth, or do you think it's a bunch of lies?
we're like liception at this point, right? We're like at the lies within the lies within the lies within the lies.
Exactly. Let us know in the comments below what you think. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like and a share. Likes are very important for our channel. As good as our tiny channel exposure, and we need your help to defeat the ability of not releasing a console. So, like our stuff.
We need your physical labor. Can you solder? Can you guys solder? That's what we need to know. Can you guys
bring the pizza?
Bring the pizza, I'll bring the beer.
I'll bring the Mountain Dew.
And we'll solder some Amicos together.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's go!
If you want to follow us on Twitter, our handle is YouAreDorkalicious. We also stream live weekly on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our Twitch channel is twitch.tv/super_darkalicious. All right.
This is Phil Adam right here.
Yeah, no kidding.
My Fifis.
My Fifis hurt. Okay,
This is Lydia. I'm Kenny G.
And it was fun.
I'll talk to you later.
Talking with you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.